Hey, good morning, everybody. April 23rd, 2023, having my morning latte. We're going to continue on with Dr. Christian going over data analysis from hospitals, and he's going to get into the children and the children's vaccine now next on this episode. So let's take it away.
On the left of your screen is ICU bed admissions before the pandemic. On the right of the screen is during the pandemic. And in fact, ICU bed admissions during the pandemic was less than before the pandemic. Okay, with that introduction about the data, I'm going to get into the meat of my presentation.
Okay, so that was just a recap of the last video. Again, the hospitals had more admissions or demissions and more ICU beds were being used pre-pandemic than in the pandemic. So that was last episode. So on to our children and the COVID-19 injection vaccine. Let's head it away, doctor.
And the first subject I'm going to speak about is our children and the COVID-19 injection or vaccine. I want to remind the public that Pfizer has a criminal history. This is in fact from Pfizer, from the Department of Justice United States website, and it talks about how the Justice Department announced the largest healthcare fraud settlement in its history. Fraud settlement, $2.3 billion for fraudulent marketing.
$2.3 billion Pfizer paid out in fraudulent marketing. Let that ring through your head. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That happens to be the biggest payout in human history that we know of course, with inflation. The biggest payout in history for fraudulent marketing or any type of fraud where a corporation pays out. Why would anybody trust this company with your children and your own body?
Exhibit 2. Pfizer to pay $325 million in Neurontin settlement, defrauded insurers and other healthcare benefit providers by marketing Neurontin in a fraudulent way. Pfizer admits bribery in 8 countries. For 3 years, Pfizer Italy employees provided free cell phones, photocopiers, printers, televisions to doctors, arranged for vacations such as weekend in Gallipoli, weekend with companion, and weekend in Rome, and even made direct cash payments.
Listen to this bullshit. They're giving doctors trips, giving them incentives. It's like the cigarette company. Oh, here's tickets for the game. Here's the ball pen. Here's some trips to Mexico. Total bribery. Bribery, guys. So the doctors then prescribe and want to push these drugs and pharmaceutical crap on you.
Under the guise of lecture fees and honoraria in return for promises by doctors to recommend or prescribe Pfizer products. And it happened in Italy, Bulgaria, China, Croatia, Czech Republic, Russia, Serbia, Kazakhstan, and I'm sure in many other countries too. Now, by summer of 2021, and actually much before that, it was obvious that there was more than a 1,000-fold mortality risk difference between children and the elderly. What that means is that if you're very young, you had more than 1,000-fold less risk of dying than if you were very old. And there was this study from England that showed, quote, 2 is very rarely fatal in even among with underlying morbidities among children. In Germany, with 80 million people, this November 2021 study showed that there was not a single death in children. And my contention still is that this should have been in every informed consent discussion.
Okay, sorry, let me interrupt myself and Dr. Christian right now. We need to move this to Rumble exclusively and on ODYSEE. We can't continue talking about this on CensorTube because they will give me a COVID-19 medical misinformation policy strike. And I've lost the channel. I lost channel Irnieracing Reports already for this. And I don't want to lose these channels or this channel, whatever one I'm posting it on. And specifically in the medical misinformation policy, you can just go on Google and type that in, and it'll pop up, and I'll read you the segment why we can't continue. Okay, so under the section content that denies the existence of COVID-19, it states claims that COVID-19 is equal to or less transmissible than the common cold or seasonal flu. You cannot talk about this. And, you know, Dr. Christian is going to go into this subject about how dangerous it is for children, etc. So we can't talk about that. So again, we're going on Rumble. It even lists examples. It says here on the Google's website, it says claims that children cannot or do not contradict COVID-19. You know, it goes on and on. Claims that people are immune to the virus based on their race, etc. These are like their examples. And so, you know, talking about children versus adults and how, you know, they could be infected or not, it cannot be talked about any further. Here's another one. Again, it says claims that the death rate of blah, blah, blah is equal to or less than that of the common cold or seasonal flu. So he'll get into that as well, and we can't show it. So that's it, guys. See you on Rumble. This is it for YouTube. We're moving to Rumble. That's Irnieracing. Just go rumble.com/user/Irnieracing. Odyssey is odyssey.com /@Irnieracing. I'll throw them in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.